Today we will learn the PITS India Act. Last lecture was about the Regulating Act, what happened, how it came into existence and what were its drawbacks, what were its contributions. So my request to you students is please kindly subscribe my channel, and because this should reach people who are poor and who can't afford. For this I am making this video and I'm struggling so hard also. I'm doing research, I'm doing all this just for you people. So you people has to take it forward and make sure that it reaches most and most people. So I request you to please kindly subscribe and share my channel as well as my videos, so that the people who are poor and can't afford, they can make use of it. Okay, we'll begin today's lecture now. So my lecture of today is, I'll talk about two things, that is PITS India Act and the Supplementary Act. Both are related. Okay, friends, so I'll start with the PITS India Act. Okay, what is PITS India Act? So as you know, PITS India, so this was named before the British Prime Minister William Pitt. Okay, this act came into existence in 1784, 11 years after the Regulating Act was passed. Okay, till now we understood, right? Now we will study why this act came to an existence, what were the main causes of the act. So first and most important cause was the loopholes of the Regulating Act. Okay, the Regulating Act was made in order to curb corruption as well as ensure accountability, but this did not happen. The corruption was more and more prevalent, and as well as the corruption was more and more prevalent, and as well as there was no accountability at all. So the British Parliament said that it would interfere and this would further control the affairs of the East India Company in India. Okay. Second cause, at that time major wars were taking place, such as Anglo-Mysore War, Anglo-Maratha War. All those wars were taking place and the company was failing to counter. So British government thought that they should change the administration as well as they should also take the military powers into their own hand. So they thought that, and due to these reasons, the the PITS India Act came into existence. Okay. Now, this is the background of the act. We will go by the main provisions. The first and foremost provision was the establishment of the dual government in India. Okay. This system was like this. First, you would have the board of control who would administer the civil and military affairs in India. Okay, before it was in the hands of East India Company, now it is in the hands of board of control. Okay. These board of control comprise of 6 members. Okay, first it was led by Secretary of State, who was known as the President, then Exchequer, then 4 members of the Privy Council. Okay, then the trade related matters would be controlled by the Court of Directors, which we studied under the Regulating Act. Okay, then you have the board of control. Listen carefully, the board of control would be under the British Parliament. It would be regulated by the British Parliament, whereas the Court of Directors would be regulated by the East India Company. So both British Parliament and East India Company ruled. So this is a system of dual government, means both of them shared powers. Okay. Second, the Governor's Executive Council was reduced to 3 members. Before it was 4 members, now Governor had 3 members. And still Governor did not have the right to veto. It came after that, I'll tell you when it came. Okay. And third, the most important is the British East India Company civil servants and military officers. Okay, they were, they were said that they would give the account of their property both in India and both in Britain after they joined the service within 2 months. this, this is the most important thing. This was made to further know that how much wealth they acquired, how much corruption is taking place, and this was made to ensure the accountability, which was lacking in the regulating act of 1773. Okay, now let's go to the significance of the act. First, it gave the system of dual government. Through the dual government, the British Parliament could exercise its control in most matters, for example, civil and military matters. So whatever the war could take place, whatever the conflict or any agreement, directly company was responsible. Okay. Second, it gave the Governor General a kind of power where he could override the two council members. For example, let's see, there are the Governor General is there, and there are three members with him. Okay, if Governor General and one member come together, and then it could be difficult for the other two executive council members to impose their advice. So through this way, the Governor General became more powerful. Okay, and one more provision in the act is the Governor General became the Governor General of India. At that time, he was known as the Governor General of Bengal and Madras, but now the Governor General became the Governor General of India. Okay, and the most important of the act is that Bombay and Madras still became further subordinate to Calcutta, Bengal. So, yeah, okay, and all the provisions of the act continued more or less till 1858, till the Government of India Act of 1858, where the power was transferred to the Crown, where East India's Company's rule came into an end. So, now the defects of the act. Okay, what were the defects of the act? Is first is the Governor General still did not get veto power because two members were there, and they could still dominate. Even for example, in the matters of emergency and all, the governor could not act on its own. Second, the Governor General did not have its military power. Okay, the Governor General could not exercise even military power in the matter of war, peace, etc. Still also, the military power would be regulated through the Parliament, which was in England. That would be difficult. For example, let's say the war has taken place in emergency, but the Governor General is in India and he can't take decision like in emergency. He should consult with the Parliament and then he should take. Okay, and one more defect of the act was the power of board of directors, the power of board of control, court of directors was not mentioned clearly, and there was no clarity in their division. Okay, now one more act we will study is the Supplementary Act of 1784. Due to, as I said, Anglo-Mysore War and other conflicts in India which were happening, the Governor General wanted extra military powers within himself. So, due to this, in England in 1784, the Supplementary Act was passed. According to this Supplementary Act, the Governor General had the power of, the Governor General had military power in case of emergency, and the British government could act in emergency if there is harm to its interest in India. So, through this act, the Governor General had absolute power and he could have the military in its own behest. He could declare war and peace in emergency and other things. Okay, so today we have come to the end of the lecture and I hope you understood. Thank you.